Good morning, children. We'll begin the morning's class from where we had stopped at the last class. Now, in the last class, we had stopped at page number 25 of your book. Today, we will be doing classification of data. Classification of data. Keep your statistics copy ready with you, with your pen. We are going to give you definitions to avoid reading the lot of theory which you can do at your leisure later on. I will give you the definitions and the various other things. So kindly keep your statistics copy ready. Are you ready? Okay. Write down classification of data, which is the next topic on your page number 25. Now, the classification of data is done in various ways. There are 4 ways. You can note them down. The first one is chronological. Chronological. I'll give you the definitions of these just now, which simply means it is the basis of time, on the basis of time. Second, spatial. Spatial, it is done on the basis of geographical areas. Geographical. Third, quantitative. Quantitative, it is classified on the basis of the magnitude. And fourth, qualitative classification, which is classified on the basis of attributes. So write down first, chronological classification. When statistical data are classified with reference to time, such as years, months, etc., in other words, classification of data is done according to a time period. For example, we'll have a year production of, let's say, wheat, production of wheat in 1,000 tons. Let's take any year, starting from the year 2000, let's say 15, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. And you can give any figure over here. Let's say 700,000 tons, 750, 800, 850, 900 tons. All these figures are arbitrary and hypothetical, not real figures. This is for an example. So this sort of a table where the data is classified on the basis of time, could be years, months, weeks, whatever. Such classification of data is called chronological classification. Second, spatial classification. When statistical data are classified with reference to geographical locations such as states, districts, cities, etc. In other words, the classification is done according to an area or place. Now, your example could be, let's take states and production of, let's say, rice, production of rice, okay, and this again is in lakh tons, lakh tons. Okay, can you name some rice growing states? Punjab, Haryana, Punjab, Haryana, UP. Where else is rice grown? Madhya Pradesh, let's say MP, and other states. Enough to take 5. Productions, you can give anything. Any values. Such a classification is called spatial or geographical classification. Third, what is the third? Quantitative classification. Okay. When the statistical data are classified with reference to those characteristics which can be numerically expressed such as height, weight, profit, income, etc. In other words, classification of data is done according to their numerical measurement. Your example will be, let's say, profits, and second we can take number of companies, number of number of companies. Let's take them in a continuous tabular form where we could say, let's say profits from 150 to 160, 160 to 170, 170 to 180, 180 to 190, 190 to 200. This is profits made in rupees in lakhs. Let's say rupees in lakhs. Okay. Now give some values over here. How many companies are making profits, let's say, of 150 to 160 lakhs per year? Just give any amount of figures. Let's say 800 companies, 700 companies, 850, 900, and let's say 600. Number of companies. When data like this is classified on the basis or reference of a number, when it is numerically expressed, it is quantitative classification. And the fourth is qualitative classification. When statistical data are classified with reference to attributes such as employment, literacy, honesty, color, etc. In other words, classification of data is done according to descriptive characteristics. Your example is, suppose we have level of employment, level of employment is one column, and we have number of workers, number of workers. Now in the level of employment, we can further divide them as employed, employed, and on what basis? Educated, uneducated. Now on this educated, let's give some figure, 340, let's say 600. This number of workers is given, let's say in thousands. Okay. Unemployed, in the unemployed again we would have the same, educated, and number two, uneducated. Give some values here. So this table shows you here the data is first classified according to the attributes. Now we have taken one attribute over here of employment. Employed people who are educated and uneducated figures are given. Second attribute would be unemployed, same educated and uneducated. This is an example with employment. Similarly, you can have with literacy, honesty, etc. So when data is shown with reference to their attributes, such classification is called qualitative classifications. Understood? The theory of this you can read in your book at your leisure. But this is what is in your book. There are 4 classifications and I have made it simpler for you. Next, write down some important heading, some important terms used for frequency distribution. Okay, the first term is you'll come across is the word series. Now, how do you define a series in statistics? Write down. A series is a systematic arrangement of items into a particular order or sequence in different classified categories. For example, let us talk about children in a family. Okay, let us say first of all we have children and number of families 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That would be too much. Let's keep it up to 4 only. Number of families, let's say 25, 45, 45, 37, 15 and 8. We have surveyed 130 families. What does this table or what does this series tell us? There are 25 families having no children, 45 having 1 child, 37 having 2, 15 having 3 and 8 families having 4 children. Now this is a discrete series. We will come again what is discrete. Now the same thing we can also show in a continuous form. Let's say 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc., and give the number of values. That also is a series. Okay. Second term we come to is frequency. You'll come across this word, frequency. The number of times given value in an observation appearing is the frequency. For example, you can use the same example. There are 25 families having no child, 45 having one, 37 having two. This is the frequency. Number of times the given value in an observation appears. So when you are asked how many families have two children, at once you would say 37. That is the frequency. Third, class frequency. The number of values in each of the quantitative classes is called class frequency. For example, suppose you have 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. These are the class, and you have their frequency given. This is called the class frequency. The frequency, number of values in each of the quantitative series or a quantitative class is called class frequencies. So I ask you what is the value for a class of 10 to 15? You would say 9. That is the class frequency. Similarly, we have total frequency. What is total frequency? Can you see this here? 130. How would you write it? The sum of all the frequencies. The sum of all the frequencies is known as the total frequency. For example, 130 is the total frequency in this table. Next, class. What is class? It is a decided group of magnitudes. It is a decided group of magnitudes. For example, 0 to 10, comma, 100 to 200, comma, any other value you want to give, you can give 50 to 100. This is a class. There are 3 examples of class. Okay. Then we have upper and lower limit of class. Upper and lower limit of class. The lowest and the highest magnitude which forms the boundaries of a class are known as the upper and the lower limit. So if we say there's a class of 10 to 20, what is the lower limit of the class? 10. Upper limit of the class is 20. Next is class interval. Class interval. Write down the magnitude spread between the lower and the upper class limits is called class interval. For example, suppose we have a class of 64 to, let's say, 66 inches, we are measuring something. Then what will be the class interval? Lower, upper minus lower, that is 66 minus 64. What will be the class interval? 2. Here the class interval would be 2. If we take an example of 62 inches to 64 inches, supposedly. So the spread between the lower and the upper class limit is called class interval. For example, it is the upper limit minus the lower limit, that is 66 minus 64 is equal to 2. Next is midpoint. Midpoint. The mid value between the lower and the upper limits is known as midpoint. And how do you find out the midpoints? It is upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. So suppose you have a class of 10 to 20. Lower plus upper, 10 plus 20 divided by 2, 30 upon 2 is equal to 15. 15 will be the midpoint of class interval of 10 to 20. So it is the middle point in a class. How is it calculated? Lower limit plus upper limit, or upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. Okay. For example, if we have a class of 10 to 20, lower limit of the class plus upper limit of the class divided by 2. That is your midpoint. Next is variable. Variable, a quantity which varies from one individual to another, is known as variable.